Hey, how are we doing? This is going to be the first champion guide that we're going to be doing today. I'm going to spread these out so they release probably every 2 or 3 days or so. But today we're going to talk about a champion that probably not a lot of people have, but if you do have her, you're really happy about having her. And that, my friends, is going to be Lady. No, I'm just fucking with you. Not her. Yumiko. If you got lucky like myself, you have a Yumiko. Okay. If you're lucky, double like myself, you have two Yumikos. Okay. Um, I pulled her right after she came out. I actually got her, I think, in a double pull with like my third Ursuga, and then I got another Yumiko. So I'm not trying to brag and be like, oh, look at me, I'm fucking great. Um, but I want to show you Yumiko. I want to show you where you can use her and how you should build her. Okay. Now, my build isn't necessarily the best build for arena, right? For live arena or anything. So, what a lot of people do is they build her with speed, or they build her in protection, or they build her in supersonic. Usually, supersonic or speed, because they get the most use out of her, and then they just pump like accuracy. Like they ascend for accuracy here. Obviously, you're going speed here on the boots. You're going to go accuracy banner. Now, I don't have any other banners that are better than this. If I go here, I hit accuracy, we go equipped, and then I want the highest. It's my chick right here, right? So that's definitely could be an upgrade for my Yumiko. But the stats you need to prioritize on Yumiko are one, speed, and then two, accuracy. That's all you need to do. She has great base stats, 21,000 HP, 1200, roughly 1300 defense, 105 speed, which is fine. It's not the best, but still pretty decent. 30 resistance, 10 accuracy. And as you can see here, I have her built in 6-piece perception because to me, at my level, even though I'm at the end game, this is the best that I can do for her right now. Okay. Now I don't have Hell Hades Optimizer. I buy it, I pay for a subscription like 1 month out of the year so I can like redo some stuff. Um, but I don't have it. Okay. These are her masteries. So this is for arena only, right? So I only use Yumiko in arena and Hydra, and then whatever stages I need to use her in for like Curse City and then some dungeons. Actually, I actually use her for a reset champion and actually a lot of dungeons, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I have her going here on the defense tree. We have her Defiant. And we just have her going down to Cycle of Revenge because that's all that matters. But the big part is you start her out at pinpoint accuracy and you bring her all the way down to Eagle Eye. Okay, and then give her Laura Steel because you really do want that little bit of that stat boost, 15%. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at her. These are just her stats if she was going to be in arena. All right, 335 speed, 640 accuracy. I can definitely pump that up if I can land this ascension to be accuracy instead of resistance. And as you can see, I'm waiting to ascend pieces a year because I'm still doing my Marius missions. Okay, like I'm almost done. I'm in the last third of it, but it is what it is. Um, so 3.5k defense, 65,000 HP, pretty decent stats here. Even we have even a little bit of resistance here at 207. Okay. Now, if we were to take a look at her and see what I have her using for Hydra, okay, because in Hydra I've maxed out my speeds, I've maxed out I think accuracy, no resistance, and then accuracy is the one I'm working on right now. But we really should be going for ignore defense next instead of that. But hey, that's why we're at 10%. Um, so what I do for her for Hydra, and I'll just show you the team quick. I can't show you the run because, like in the other video, I said I am leaving for Ireland, and I am not gonna have time to do Hydra. So let me get you here. As you can see, it's right here. So this is what I have for my team. I ran this on full auto. I didn't control it or anything. If I would have controlled this, this would have been like 2.5, 3 billion key. But I'm sorry, boys. I'm just tired and I wanted to get it done with. And it's a Trunda team, right? It's Yumeko, Lydia, Emek, Gerptuk, and Trunda. And I didn't swap gear that I usually swap for my second Yumeko or my Emek, because I use my Emek in Shogun's Grove, so he has to be slower than what he is, than what I need him for Hydra. And then Yumiko is just, she's too fast. So, but with this team, that's probably going to go away because I actually just fused, after that video, I just fused Vault Keeper Wixwell. And I have Yannicka. and I have a Krisk, and I have Emic, so I can definitely put together the team that does billions of damage. And I'll probably do it on Hydra, or on Nightmare Hydra, and then, you know, until they nerf it. I mean, that's the thing. And then people, you know, I touch on that. People are like, you know, that's, I don't know how they, dishonorable maybe. I don't know. They're just not keen on how you do that, or that you would do that. But in my other videos, like I've said before, you got to look out for yourself. And Plarium, you got to take every advantage you can against the game. Nub said it best when he said, "You're gonna make mechanics for the game, and the players will break the mechanics of the game, because that's just how humans operate. You know, we find the path of least resistance that's gonna net us the most reward. Just how it is. You know, we gotta think smart, not hard, right?" Um, but anyways, let me just kind of take you into a battle with her now. I want to show you my live arena. I am purposely diving live arena right now. I'm wanting to go down to basically the beginning of gold 2 so I can fight my way back up, and then I'm going to go down again. This is actually now my personal strategy, because it takes too long in not doing live arena to go back down. Okay, so I am using all 10 of my keys a day to drop 30 points every day until I get back down to here, and then I'm going to fight my way back up. I have found out that when you get to gold 3, you really get shit on. If you don't have mythics or fully empowered, fully awakened legendaries and mythics, it's gonna be a rough fight. Again, work smart, not hard, right? Think smart, not hard. So, hence why I'm just taking nosedives here. This guy here, I took a nosedive and he got pushed up to 4K. So he just got his Quintus, I think. But there you are for that. But let's go over here into Classic Arena. Let's look at a team that should be pretty comparable. This team has no nuker, so that's just an annoying team nobody wants to deal with. This team right here might be, we'll see. Let's see if we can't beat this team. So this is my regular setup for Yumeko. This is my Classic Arena team. Yes, they're very powerful champions. Arbiter, 393 speed. Yumeko, 335 speed. Ancora, 277. And then White King Narcissus, 229. With some decent stats. Nothing crazy. I really do need to rework the stats to push that crit damage up, but alright. Now, something to consider. When you are in arena and you have two champions, one's a speed booster and the other one is a lockout champion, you don't want anybody to cut in between you and getting to your lockout champion, okay? So like, yes, excuse me, my Arbiter is going to go first, but somebody can cut in and fuck me up. Okay, so there's a couple things that actually do that. If we go to the champions here, and let's just, you know, look at Valkyrie. Her jealousy passive does this, where she decreases turn meter by 10% for each buff placed on enemy champions, and then she gets 10% turn meter increase. But there's also a blessing that does something very similar. Nope, not you. Boy, am I dumb? Super dumb? Yeah, I'm sorry. Temporal Chains. Temporal Chains has a very similar effect, okay? It will decrease the enemy speed by 15% maxed out when any enemy receives a third active buff. So if you really want to build like a Valkyrie that is like a control champion for Arena, smack that onto her, okay? I have Brimstone on mine. So what we're looking at here, this Lady Kimmy actually has that. So I don't know, and so does the Yumeko. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it and like do something, but I think, well, there's probably a pretty decent chance. We're starting off in auto. Let's take it off auto. Are we fast enough? No, we are not. Oof. We still have a way out of this. Okay, let's try to decrease the turn meter. Oh, we might get lucky. Nope, never mind. He beat us. That's just what happens, man. And also, if you're curious, this is exactly what happens in Gold 3. You're just getting poo-poo garbage on. That team's not a good team to... I mean, let's just take a look at this team. So we know, looking at this team, Half-Rack's going to be in Stone Skin, so we know when we kill the rest of the team, he's going to try and hit back. But it's just not going to work out for him, okay? I can tell by the player power that this is a not very powerful account. Boom. You see that? Put everybody's skills on cooldown, and then we're going right into it. He hits us once, and then it's just over, okay? We'll go over Yumeko's abilities here in just a second. I'm sorry, I did forget that at the beginning of the video. But I assume she's pretty notorious that everybody knows what she does. Okay. And then I'll show you the teams I actually have her in for dungeons. I think I need to switch the blessing on my Narcissus to cruelty instead of whatever that righteous one is. All right, come on, get back to him. All right. Let's hit refresh, see if we can't find a harder team. This team here. This team, legit team. Arbiter, Marichka, Duchess, and then we have Monkey, okay? I do not have the fastest Arbiter at all. I know there's Arbiters much faster than mine. But generally when I'm farming gold 4 or gold 5 now, used to just be gold 4, but gold 5, I know I'm definitely faster than 99% of the Arbiters sitting in here. Okay. Monkey's back up. He resisted 3%. Gotta love it. Okay, do it again. She's gonna bring everybody back. Turn meter boost from Soul Reap. Push him down. Here's another thing too. You think you have the fight won? Monkey will screw you up because if he gets a turn and his abilities are off cooldown, he will A2 and wreck your day. Let's do this. Okay. And then that's game. Okay. Let's take another one here. That team, not great. That team, not great. This team, actually, very intimidating. Okay. So we have pretty decent, strong blessings here. These are very powerful champions. Let's just get into it. Let's see how we do. Slow her down. 1 time speed. My Arbiter's faster. Turn meter boost. Boom. Boom. Of course, Armand's has reaction. Monkey comes back up. Boosting turn meter on Ancora. Blur up to ×2. And sometimes you do just have to take over the match. Sorry, I was just thinking for a second. Okay, let's too bad he didn't have a third buff on. Do that. A1 there. Okay. This Duchess is going to lose her stone skin in just a second. You know, Raid does come out, like Plarium comes out with some pretty great ideas on the game, but they really just butt fuck the arena meta. Okay. This match is going too long. Good. And then, boom. Since she's so fast, we already wrapped back around to her A3. This video is going a little bit long. I do apologize. I'm just kind of wanting to show you where I use Yumeko. She's such a versatile champion. She can be used anywhere, okay? So let's just take a look at her kit here real quick. And where are you? Bingo. Okay. So her A1 attacks an enemy 2 times. The books that you put into her for this only increase the damage. The damage is negligible. So if at all possible, do 1 book at a time until you get the A3 maxed out. I don't even care about the A2. And then I would just leave her at that. But 7.5% of the target's turn meter if this champion has 50% HP or more. Each hit heals this champion by 30% of the damage inflicted if this champion has less than 50 HP. So that's pretty cool. Okay. The A2 essentially puts a hex on one enemy, 100% chance when booked. And then any debuff that will be placed on her will be transferred, or any ally, right, will be transferred to the target with the hex. Now, it's not always guaranteed. It's 55% with regular champions, and then 30% chance to happen with bosses. And then whenever someone fills the turn meter of an enemy under hex debuff placed by this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. And this is only available with Karato Fox on her. Okay? Now, if Karato is better, these two would be a great power couple, but he's not. And then her A3, which is the one that everybody complains about. There's like a lot of controversy around her because she opens up so many degenerate strategies for Hydra. That's what people get upset about. Here's the thing. This is what kills me. If Hydra Clash wasn't player versus player, because that's essentially what it is. It's PvP. In the sense that you are trying to outscore the other clan, nobody would care. Everybody would actually be very happy that her Dance of Time, if you have two Yumekos, reset each other, okay? Or a Yumeko and a Kaimar, because they reset each other. Kaimar, if we just want to take it, well, let's go over this here, and then we'll take a look at Kaimar so I can compare. But this will decrease the cooldowns of all ally skills by 3 turns, and then increase the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Will not decrease the cooldowns of this champion's skills. When it says that, it means this individual champion. If you have 2 Yumekos on the same team, they do reset each other's skills, but they can't reset their own, right? Essentially what that means is it's a 5-turn cooldown, but when she uses this, it doesn't bring it down to 2 turns, if that makes sense, okay? Now let's look at Kaimar. Okay. Kaimar has this ability, Seal of Magic. 6-turn cooldown when booked, resets cooldowns of all ally skills, fills her team meter by 20%. Okay? Except himself. People are mad because this actually does not work with another Kaimar. You can't have 2 Kaimars on the same team going... They can't reset each other. I think it actually used to be that way in the early days, but then they realized how broken it was, and then they got rid of it. Which, to me, is bullshit. Okay? It doesn't say anything in the description of this skill that it can't do that. I also think that if they changed it and let that happen, Kaimar would be more broken than Yumeko for Hydra. Just saying. This is a full skill reset cooldown instead of a 3-turn cooldown. Okay? And that's actually very important with the Trunda Yumeko teams because Trunda has a very long cooldown on her A2. But then if you want to look at like a champion Warlord, which Kaimar and Warlord smashed together make Yumeko. Okay? They make this weird little Yumeko. But I've seen a lot of people say that Warlord's better than Yumeko in Arena. And it's because of his A3, Orcus Rituals. 100% chance to put each target's skills on max cooldown. 30% chance to fully deplete each target's turn meter. Okay? 30, 40, 50, 60% here, and then 100% chance to do that. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. People are saying Warlord's better in Arena than Yumeko. Sure. But you see Yumeko used a shit ton more. Actually, the thing that really screws her up is because you always want her so fast that the only person's cooldowns she is actually resetting usually is your speed buff. Like the person that's increasing your turn meter. Because she's not doing it for your nukes. She's not doing it for like slower supports. And she's just doing it for the speed buff champion. Which, pretty great. But not perfect. Okay? So that's the controversy on Yumeko. Now let me just go and show you exactly where I use her for my teams. Ice Golem Hard 10, Yumeko is in here. Okay, if you've seen my Ice Golem video, you know that she's there to reset cooldowns on the second wave. And then when you're going against the boss, she puts a hex on one of the champions to help mitigate all those debuffs those minions place. Okay, I don't use her on Spider. I use her on Dragon's Lair. I use her in tandem with Stultus. Before, I actually would use like Brogni instead of Stultus, or I used Acrizia, and it was like 99% success rate. Now that I've put Stultus in, it's a 100% chance. I haven't had it fail yet because the dragon deals a ton of damage, and the problem is her placing the hex does not always land because of that 3% chance for it to be resisted, which is in all gacha games, by the way. Don't think Raid's the only one doing that. It's actually in a ton of gacha games. But I use her in Dragon to place the hex on the dragon so it shoots back poisons, and I think it's decrease attack or weaken. No, weaken and poisons back onto the dragon. Makes the fun pretty quick, or makes the run pretty quick. Honestly, you could put her in a stone skin set, and I think you could speed tune her to make her the slowest to reset cooldowns, and she would probably solo the dragon with the rest of the team dying. That's my theory craft. We'll talk about it another time. I used her a lot in Fire Knight. I use her in my Fire Knight 20 team. I know, right? You're not supposed to be farming 20. You gotta farm hard 10. But I farm 20 when the set that they're saying is double dropped isn't that great, which regen it really isn't that great even after the buff. It's a very niche use still. And I use it just to get points. You get more points for Dungeon Diver events and the tournaments by farming 20 per energy ratio. Okay, a little fun fact for you there. And it's also faster. It's time efficient. Really, all you're doing is farming up silver. You will maybe keep one piece in 30 or one piece in 60 with like an endgame cell filter from RSL Helper. Okay. Now, I don't use her in Phantom Shoguns anymore because those teams are bad. I do use her in my keep teams. Okay. So any of these keep teams, she's in there. Right? She's in my Doom Tower teams. Not there. She's in my climbing team. Okay. With a Kaimar because they reset each other. Excuse me. I use her in any stage I can in the Cursed City, which, by the way, comes in handy. She is in quite a few of the Awakened stages that you can get away with, and I'm telling you, fucking gabagoo, you know. But that is going to be it for my Yumeko video. I know it's kind of lackluster, and I just kind of really brushed over a lot of stuff, but I just wanted to show you where you can use this powerful champion. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, no duh, no shit, buddy. Yeah, I know. But some people have her, especially early game accounts, and they don't know how to build her. So again, speed, priority stat, accuracy, second priority stat, kind of interchangeable depending on where you're using her. And the other stats don't matter, right? You want her to be fast and you want her to be able to lock out the other teams. And I have her in reaction gear because I do use her a lot in arena. If only I were to get a accuracy banner with speed on it. Ooh, that would be a good day. That would be a good day. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. This video is already running long. Thank you for sticking around and watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.